Hi everyone, I hope you are doing well today. Today we are going to talk about total physical response. What do we mean by total physical response? Let us first consider a general approach to foreign language instruction, which has been named the Comprehension Approach. It is called this because of the importance it gives to listening comprehension. Most of the other methods we have looked at have students speaking the target language from the first day. In the 1960s, James Asher's research gave rise to the hypothesis that language learning starts first with understanding and ends with production. After the learner internalize an extensive map of how the target language works, speaking will appear spontaneously. Of course, the student's speech will not be perfect, but gradually, speech will become more target-like. Notice that this is exactly how an infant acquires its native language. A baby spends many months listening to the people around it, long before it ever says a word. The child has the time to try to make sense out of the sounds it hears. No one tells the baby that it must speak. The child chooses to speak when it is ready to do so. There are several methods depending on this approach, the comprehension approach, which they are the natural approach, which derived most of these principles from the direct method, and also we have affective filter, or what we called the learnables, and we have the lexical approach, and finally we have James Asher total physical response. What is the purpose of using total physical response in teaching English? The teacher who use total physical response believe in the importance of having their students enjoy their experience of learning to communicate in other language. In fact, total physical response was developed in order to reduce the stress people feel when they are studying other languages and thereby encourage students to persist in their study beyond a beginning level of proficiency. The way to do this, Asher believes, is to base foreign language learning upon the way children learn their native language. It means they have to listen to the people around them, then produce the language. What are the principles of total physical response? Number 1, meaning in the target language can often be conveyed through actions. It means I have to act the action in front of the student instead of saying the meaning of it. Number 2, the student understanding of the target language should be developed before speaking. That means that students say nothing at all, only listening. Number 3, students can initially learn one part of the language rapidly by moving their bodies. That means the teacher gives the commands quite quickly. Number 4. The imperative is a powerful linguistic device through which the teacher can direct student behavior. For example, the teacher sits down and issues commands to the volunteers. It means that the student choose if they want to act the action or not. Number 5. Students can learn through observing action as well as by performing the actions themselves. That means if they want to act, they will act. If they only want to observe, it's up to them. Number 6. It is very important that students feel successful. Feeling of success and low anxiety facilitate learning. The teacher have to take care of the student's feeling. He has or she has to reduce their anxiety, make the learning process enjoyable as possible. Number 7. Students should not be made to memorize fixed routines. It means this method is not a routine method. It is full of action and exercises. Number 8. When the students make an error, the teacher repeats the command while acting it out. It means that when the student acts something wrongly, the teacher say the command and act it correctly in front of the student. Number 9. The teacher gives the students commands they have not heard before. It means not only the commands they memorize, always he updates the commands he teaches them. Number 10. Language learning is more effective when it is fun. As we said, learning process should be as fun as possible to lower the anxiety of the student. Number 11. Spoken language should be emphasized over written language. It means in this method, the spoken language it is very important than the written, because we want the student learn how to communicate in target language, not to write in it. Number 12. Students will begin to speak when they are ready. It is very clear, I think. Number 13. Students are expected to make errors when they first begin speaking. Errors are natural outcomes in total physical response. What is the role of the teacher in total physical response? The teacher is the director of all students' behavior. It means he directs them to do an action, to do an activity, an exercise. He is the only director in the classroom. What is the role of the students in total physical response? The students are imitators of the teacher models. It means whatever the teacher does, so the students do as well as. What is the role of the student's native language in total physical response? Total physical response is usually introduced the student's native language after the introduction, rarely with the native language be used. That means meaning is made clear through body movement, not through the language itself. What is the nature of interaction between teacher and students in total physical response? The teacher interacts with the whole group of the students and with individual students also. Initially, the interaction is characterized by the teacher speaking and the student responding non-verbally. Later on, the students become more verbal and the teacher responds non-verbally. How are the feelings of the student dealt with in total physical response? One of the main reasons total physical response was developed was to reduce the stress people feel when studying other languages. One of the primary ways this is accomplished is to allow learners to speak when they are ready. Forcing them to speak before then will only create anxiety. Also, when students do begin to speak, perfection should not be expected. Another way to relieve anxiety is to make language learning as enjoyable as possible. How is the language viewed in the total physical response? Just as with the acquisition of the native language, the oral modality is primary. How is the culture viewed in total physical response? Culture is the lifestyle of the people who speak the language natively. What areas of language are emphasized in total physical response? Vocabulary and grammatical structures are emphasized over other language areas. What skills of language are emphasized in total physical response? Understanding the spoken word should precede its production. The spoken language is emphasized over written language. How is evaluation accomplished in total physical response? Teachers will know immediately whether or not students understand by observing their students' action. Formal evaluation can be conducted simply by commanding individual students to perform a series of actions. How does the teacher respond to students' error in total physical response? It is expected that students will make errors when they first begin speaking. Teachers should be tolerant of them and only correct major errors. Even these should be corrected unobtrusively. As students get more advanced, teachers can fine-tune, correct more minor errors. The characteristics of teaching and learning process in total physical response are the using of commands and the use of demonstration, that means demonstrating the meaning, and also performing the actions, also reading, and writing. What are the techniques of total physical response? Number 1. Using commands to direct behavior. The commands are given to get the student to perform an action. The action makes the meaning of the commands clear. At first, to clarify meaning, the teacher performs the actions with the students. Later, the teacher directs the student alone. The student's action tells the teacher whether or not the student understands. Number 2. Role reversal. Students command their teacher and classmates to perform some actions. Asher says that students will want to speak after 10 to 20 hours of instruction. Although some students may take longer, students should not be encouraged to speak until they are ready. Action sequence. At one point, we saw the teacher give 3 connected commands. For example, the teacher told the students to point to the door, walk to the door, and touch the door. As the students learn more and more of the target language, a longer series of connected commands can be given, which together comprise a whole procedure. For more information and details, please visit the link in the description box. Thank you and have a good day.